Thank you, I appreciate it.
What's your cup? You got it. So the week.
I have it.
Hello. You want me to take those bags? Those ones. Good.
Abby, you want your bar?
Oh, you get over it. Get over it. Get the rest between two forks. Get the rest between two forks. The rest between two forks.
Oyez! 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 Draw near! For here resumes the court of Bernard and Leona, accompanied by their heirs, Andreas and Callisto. What's up, Callisto? Hi. Princess Callisto. Princess Callisto. Just Callisto.
By our delightful air.
Don't get these memos sometimes. I'm sorry, Your Highness. All right. Here we go. Herein resumes the court. Oh, did we miss it?
I would say seek your comfort, but that's sitting on the grass. You do whatever you want to make yourself comfortable. How's that?
All right. Their Majesties once again invite before them Mistress Zoe Akropolitina.
Loose becomes the word of nightmares. The volley makes the proudest spearmen seek shelter. The uncontested archer becomes the killer. And today, Mistress Zoe Akropolitina receives her recognition. Logistics wins wars, and our beloved Zoe is a combat multiplier. Her decades of service to this kingdom, channeling her talents on the melee field, are inspirational. She inspects as much as she shoots. She fosters comrades as much as she zeroes in on individuals. And she coordinates with her fellow archers to produce the overwhelming firepower Aethelmearc needs to crush its enemies. Your Majesties, Your Highnesses, I present to you Mistress Zoe Akropolitina.
Thank you for being here. That shows. When we last spoke, you said
Here's some words.
Is there a member of the most noble order of chivalry to speak? There is, Your Majesties. Your Highness, may I address your populace? When we speak of chivalry, we think of the prowess of our warriors. But in many ways, we don't think of that the people who support those fighters in the front line. Because we think of them as those who are just protecting us. When we talk about archers on the field, we used to say they're those new guys that we have to kind of have around us. But now, we cannot think of a battle we wouldn't want them in. Because they defend us. And they are in the front line. And they are the ones who make the difference. Yesterday in the woods, I was advised by some of our most esteemed warriors to use them in the last 2 minutes in the final pushes for the banners. And we were not only able to turn tide of the battle, but we were able to secure a victory and maintain control of the banner for almost the entirety of the battle. From 85 minutes or so out of 90. And the archers were one of the major factors. This new order that has been established is not only for the archers, but also our siege engineers and those who would build and foster a new community within the fighting orders. As a knight, I used to hate getting shot. I still hate getting shot. But now there is a new community that has been formed to build around our fighting community. And it builds bridges between us so that we may have some of the finest warriors stand with us who would never have had the chance to fight with us because they didn't want to be where some of us end up being. Getting bruised up, getting in the front lines, and not getting to fight because they're too small, or perhaps they just didn't want to get hit, which is fair because I don't like getting hit either. But in the end, Mistress Zoe has been a catalyst for this order and an absolute treasure for our army. And from my point, the chivalry is nothing without its teachers and its leaders and those who would build bridges. Your Majesties, Your Highness, noble populace, she is not only my peer, she exceeds the expectations of a peer by continuing to build and grow our order and our society and help our army continue to grow.
Which one among the laurel vouch for her? Your Majesties, Your Highness, I am Leonin McClary of Quill. I am a mistress of the Pelican and a mistress of the Laurel, and I can tell you that Zoe's art is her ability to brew an exquisite cup of tea, or her skill at looking around and seeing any setting and seeing the possibility in what it could become. She can transform any place into anything that you could imagine. I could also tell you that her art is her teaching, because that is an art, and she is a magnificent teacher. But really, the art that I see is her joy in combat archery as a whole, in being able to spread the knowledge, being able to put a bow into the hands of anyone who stands still long enough. The best way I can describe her with regard to combat archery is glee. The glee that she talks about when she says she's just made another person into a combat archer. She's told me so many things and things. And she talks about the giggle that they suddenly feel and the fact that they are now committed. They are now going to be combat archers. When she tells me that I can't do that, I have to go out and shoot people. She is so full of glee, so full of joy, and to me, that is her art. And it just fills me with joy to be able to speak for her. Thank you.
Is there a member of the most noble order of the Pelican?
Your Majesty, I claim that right. I am Meister Friedrich Schwarzwalder, and what can you say about Zoe? We have swapped the Kingdom Combat Archery Marshal position back and forth for about the last 10 years. On the field, her prowess is just beyond extremely. I don't know how many times she has shot me on the field, and I only hope that I returned it somewhat. But I will speak on her service again, multiple times, our Kingdom Combat Archery Marshal. This year, her campaigning for the order, her campaigning for the combat archers has been off the charts. We are authorizing so many new archers this year that it was amazing. I did 11 at one sitting purely because she was drumming up the support for the order and for the archers. She is just a force to be reckoned with when it comes to service. Every day you find her in that tent. Even the days when she is shooting, she is in that tent, expecting, serving, whatever it takes to make sure that our archers are served, and then even the archers of other kingdoms are served. She makes sure that we all get to play and we all get to have fun. She is a true example of what this order is about.
Would a Master of Defense speak for her?
Greetings! I am Illidor de Bettigrain, Premier Master of Defense of the West and Team Delegate Flower of Aethelmearc. I have known Zoe a very, very long time, so I can tell you with authority that she is a complete badass on the field and feared by many. But also I can tell you that she's an absolute pillar of this community. She has helped this community out from get-go. She has been there with equipment, she's been there with supplies, and often she is there with an encouraging word and a beautiful smile. And Zoe, it is not that I am your peer, but I hope to be your peer one day. And I commend their majesties for recognizing her. Thank you so much.
Would a royal peer speak?
I'm Jarl Arnthorn Sturkey, and I will speak for Zoe. Her and I have had a great relationship since I started 20 years ago or whatever it was. My fondest memories of Zoe is going to Agincourt year after year, where I considered her my prey. There's so many archers there, and I would try to run them down, and over and over and over again she would kill me. And I still come back and think I gotta hunt her down, and she would kill me again, until finally she felt sorry enough for me to leave me alone so I could do other stuff. That's the kind of person she is. She's always thoughtful of others. She has the most welcoming grin that you can imagine, and is so nice to be around. That's what I think. But I'm not here to talk about her prowess. I'm here to talk about the grace she has, how she acts in SA, and what makes her a peer of our society. And that is, my judgment is that if I am able to send new people to her, she will not only help them fully, but they will come away with that with a greater appreciation, and they will probably stay. And I have utmost confidence every time I send somebody to her that she's going to do an excellent job. And that is why she is.
Is there one among the populace to speak for her?
Greetings, I am Baron Willem. And usually before I do public speaking, I always like to remind everyone I never expected to make it this far. Mistress Zoe, I can't with good conscience say I always like her. She brings a quiver full of rage to the field, a forest of arrows. And whenever I want another man hit with the loosened shaft, we send Mistress Zoe to do our killing. Yet I will say this, all of time is like an arrow knocked in a bow, and her eye gazes along that linear time. With persistence, action, and will, I have seen her make arrows, ferry people to the field, uplift all members of the populace, and always be a faithful friend to me and everyone around her. We'd have a lot of discussions about the asymmetry of war, and I'd always hear things like, well, you should run faster, or try not to be so fast. Don't pick a big target. But I am grateful to have that archer behind me, watching through each of those gates of life, knocking an arrow, setting it loose through those gates to protect everyone she loves. Your Majesties, this warrior of Aethelmearc will shoot true for you every time.
Is there a member of the most noble order of the Mark to speak for her?
I have that honor. I'm Maurice McBain, Premier of the Order of Mark in this Sylvan Kingdom. Today, I wouldn't speak of Zoe's prowess. There's no point in speaking of it. It's like the heat at Pennsic. It's everywhere. Powerful. And it's impossible not to notice. Then I would speak of Zoe as a philosopher. When she was kind enough to ask me to speak before you today on her behalf, I asked her, well, you're Greek. What philosophy do you like? She said, I'm a merchant. My philosophy is coin. I can respect that. I own that she is a Stoic philosophy. This coin comprises the essence of that philosophy. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the sublime work, Epictetus, there are 4 main virtues of Stoic, and they are courage, justice, wisdom, and temperance. Speaking to her courage, not so many years ago, just over there was a pile of ammo, maybe 15,000 shootables. It was appalling. And Zoe and I were sort of looking at it, and she looks at me and gets this big smile on her face, and she's like, let's get in there. And she just jumps in it. Speaking to her justice, she has been an advocate of clear insight and real depth of mind in online forums where peers meet to speak about possible members, possible additions to the order, and many times those forums can become a bit harsh. She has always been oil on those troubled waters, and not the burning kind. When it comes to her wisdom, her management of our forces on the bridge battle the other day were so impressive. I had not one but 2 knights from the other side come to me and say, don't know who was running your bows over there and who was arranging them and moving them where they needed to be, but it was like fighting the city-state of Milan over here. And as to her temperance, we had a real barn burner of a vigil for her last night, combined with a bardic circle. I got a little sideways myself. I don't think she had anything. And that's some temperance right there. When she says her philosophy is coin, it's the coin of good character. Zoe is more than a coin. She's a treasure house. She's a dragon's whore. And she is absolutely my peer.
Your Majesties, having heard these testimonies, are you minded to continue?
The Order of the Mark is a martial peerage. But what makes it a peerage? You can be an excellent fighter, an excellent fencer, an excellent archer. Is that enough? You bring people in, you, for lack of a better term, infect them with this joy. Your joy spreads throughout, and you bring people in, and you are a leader and a teacher, and that is what makes you here in a martial activity.
The other day, His Majesty came off the field. He was shot 3 times by archers.
In a about 2 seconds of a time frame.
And he was smiling and laughing. Not all that thrilled that he was done, but happy about the way that it happened. And you are a part of that. Your steadfastness, your persistence, dedication, advocacy, and leadership have made this possible. Thank you. Now we may proceed.
Then let the most noble order of the Mark come forth and join us on the throne, at the throne.
It is about Arab.
Good order. Your numbers are small. Oh, yes. Would you have this one among you?
Aye! Is the ancestral medallion of Aethelmearc present?
That's an egg.
Is there a personal medallion?
I'll get the box.
Is there a hood? Are there grapes? Zoe, you bear the trappings of an order of the Mark. Their Majesties with your oath.
You swear that you
Zoe Akropolitina will render loyal service to the crown and the kingdom of Aethelmearc. I willingly accept all burdens resulting in the exercising of the duties from this honor conferred upon me. I will execute the laws of the kingdom, and in no form will I oppose them, nor will I permit anyone to do so insofar as I'm able to do that. As a peer, I will carry out the will of the crown with prowess, listening, and teaching. I hereby declare by this oath that you have my bow and my service until I can no more or death takes me. Strong both words.
every kingdom in the known world is set to task to create the best of the best of the first marks of their individual kingdoms. We have absolutely done so. Forgive the pun once again, but you are an Aethelmearc. Oh, that was me. All right. This is, as we said, a martial order, and the option was presented to you. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. That was fun. Let this be the last shot you take without firing.
In archery, we have 3 goals: to shoot accurately, to shoot powerfully, to shoot rapidly. This strategos is effective in these goals. She trains herself and others to deadly accuracy. The principal qualifications of a
and should instill fear in the enemy and the disobedient. Zoe Akropolitina is a paragon of all these merits. She is a whetstone to the troops she commands. She defends Aethelmearc and defeats her enemies. Her concern for the common good is such that she neglects nothing at all that may be to its advantage. Judge her by her actions and see that it is in accordance with virtue that she be inducted to the Order of the Mark on the 6th of August, Anno Societatis 60, at the Pennsic War. The words are a collaboration by Maestra Rosalia Juliana Andre and Master Maureen McBain. Scroll is in progress. There being no further business at this time, this Court of Their Majesties is suspended.
Thank you. All of us.